Oh, we got some people.
Was there 1.5 peoples?
Nope.
1.5 peoples?
4.
4 peoples?
5.
5 peoples. Hey, folks, if you're just showing up, go ahead and throw some comments in the comment section there, and we'll go from there. Say hello.
Come on. I know you're out there. Just write a comment.
All right, folks. So we're going to give everybody a couple minutes to jump in here.
Yep, just 7:01. Oh, Tyler said,
Tyler,
good evening.
Good evening, man. How you doing? How's everybody doing out there?
Oh, more and more people coming in. Well, I don't know about where you guys are, but it is super cold here. I think we're expecting a low of like 4 degrees overnight here.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Not happy.
If anybody has a good spot for a training area in Florida, let's go ahead and get that set up.
Ed said Summer is a leopard.
She is a leopard.
Yep.
I was going to say, after this, I'm going to mount her talking about
just stop.
as an amount, but
just stop.
It would have sounded weird.
Just stop. That does sound weird. Oh, John's got his wife with him.
Good, John. That's
his
awesome.
Better half.
Let's see. Yeah, John said he was going to bring his wife. Hopefully, everybody's bringing their wives, daughters, girlfriends. Just don't bring your wife and girlfriend in the same
Again,
chat.
Just stop while you're ahead, Gary. Just stop. Willie's out picking up dinner. Nice. Viper J Jr.
Viper J, good to see you. What else we got here?
Oh, we got some more people coming on.
Tyler says it's 18 degrees over on the shore.
Okay.
Tyler, you're over at like Virginia Beach area?
Probably Maryland shore.
I don't know. There's more than one shore.
I know, but usually when people say the shore, they're like referring to like
the Jersey Shore?
The Jersey Shore.
Your favorite show? She watches reruns of it all the time. It's embarrassing.
No, I do not.
Yes, she does. It's a lie.
Ed's got his bride.
Ed's got his bride. That's awesome. Shannon, good to see you. Evening. Who else we got? I want everybody to watch this fanciness over here. We're just going to go ahead and cut over here to the second camera of the beautiful Summer. That's her side profile. That's what her mugshot looks like from the side there. We're going to continue to.
Daryl's here.
Yes.
See, I told you.
Hey, Daryl, what's up, buddy?
Thank you, Tyler. See, told you.
There you go.
See, I know what I'm talking about.
So help me God, Tyler, if you're lying just to cover for her, I'm going to reach through the interwebs and grab you.
Yeah.
That sounded provocative too. All right. Not that way, Tyler. She does love some Snooki.
Got the bump and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Daryl said, howdy, hello.
We
hello,
are
hillbilly.
proud hillbillies.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, for those of you, I know a lot of people out there has heard this, heard me talk about this, but West Virginia was the only state in the Union that I ever declared I would never live in utter disgust. I was like, oh God, I'll never live there. It was like less than 5 years later, I was living there and happy to be here.
Yeah.
Happy to be here. Love it here. What else we got here?
Mike's here.
Mike's here.
Happy Friday, Mike.
Happy Friday to you, buddy.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh. Trouble just showed up. Dan, good to see you.
So Dan always plays it, usually, from my understanding, like the big screen in the living room.
Yeah.
For the whole family.
How's it look over there, Dan? Did you see this, Dan? I don't know if you saw this, but you're gonna need to see this one. Look at that. We got a separate. I gotta match these colors. Look at the color profile is off a little bit.
Yeah.
But we'll get it. We'll get that fixed.
Look at that fancy fade in.
Fade in, fade out.
Whoa.
Look at that, Danny. See what I did? I even did that without you coming over here and fixing it for me. All right. Hey, first of all, I want to thank everybody for showing up, coming out. This is going to be a good one. This is something I've been thinking about and trying to figure out how to do for quite a while. And I think that's the problem is, number one, I've been trying to figure this out on my own. Glory of 65-inch.
Oh, no. I don't know how I look on a 65
in
inch
4K streaming, all blown up.
Oh,
And I think that's part of the problem. I think this is one of those problems or challenges that I think really we need to involve more people and get more insight in. And that is really how to get more women involved in firearms in general, but with training and everything. And I will tell you, at the beginning, when we first opened up Paramount, I had a real passion for this, and I still do have a passion for this as far as involving women. But I will say that we were pretty unsuccessful at it, and that is like basically giving courses away, and trying really hard, offering. We had some really good female instructors doing these women's only classes and all this other stuff. And one of the things that we constantly heard about was, hey, if you'll just do a women's only class,
just put it on the schedule.
Just put on. I'll get all my friends.
Yep.
We'll do this. We'll do that, and it just never happened. So
there was a lot of interest and no follow through.
Yeah. And you know, maybe that's just the nature of it. I don't know, but I do think that I do want to continue to try to improve women's involvement, whatever we got to do to get women more involved in firearms in general. And really, hopefully we got a good slice of some women out there that can give us some feedback and just kind of tell us, you know, your perspective of where you're coming from, of what it is that we could do to where you're genuinely, you know, or you think other women will genuinely show up. What can we do to make that happen? So
just real quick, I mean, even my point of view has changed dramatically since we first started training. I thought women's only classes would be a great idea. I thought the women would feel more comfortable. I thought that plenty of women would enroll. It would take away some of the fear of being out on the range. And now I see, both by participating in classes myself and also coming out and talking to women at pretty much every class, women come out, and I think that the mixed classes are the way to go for women. And I know that's hard to grasp when you haven't come yet or you haven't been around it, but just seeing those women get that confidence of being out on the range with the guys and seeing that they're actually really good and they can stand right up there on the line with anybody and do a great job. I think that builds another level of confidence that they wouldn't get coming to a women's only class.
Yeah. You know, when their only other peers, how do I want to say this? You know, when it comes down to it, I think that even a women's only class, even if you took the top 5 women, if you had a class of 20 or whatever it was, right? You had the top 5 women, those 5 women walk away not feeling like they would be competitive in a mixed class. And they're absolutely wrong. That's actually a really good idea, John. A wife and husband course. I like that.
Yep,
couples classes.
Yep. I mean, we have tons of couples that come out to classes. Most of the women that come out to classes come with their significant other. So they really enjoy it for the most part.
Yeah. All right. W-Track says, we're a military family with a wonderful wife of 33 years, carries every day, but I'd love for her to go through a course that breaks down the fundamentals. Absolutely. And I'll tell you, you know, the women that do go through it, and the men too, I mean, it's not anything specific, but obviously if you haven't had formal training, you don't know what you don't know. Right. And I will tell you, you'll also walk away with so much a higher level of confidence. You know, I'm curious, W-Trax, does your wife, does she carry every day or pretty consistently?
He says she carries every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The comment said wife carries every day.
Yeah. My reading comprehension is a little, she likes to point that out. Fair enough. Fair enough. She carries every day.
I was trying to say, you waiting on a comment?
No. You're right. Absolutely right.
See?
He did comment in there.
Oh, Rox is here.
Rox, what's happening, girl?
So
Josh Pitts, good to see you.
Yeah. It's hard having to teach. Hard to teach having to use your weapon, and especially the after action and consequences.
Yeah. I think I know what you're saying there. No, absolutely. But again, what it comes down to is definitely, without a doubt, is that the people in general that come out, you're going to leave with a much higher level of confidence. And again, I think that there's several people on this thread that can kind of attest to. I do believe that we take a different approach to firearms training. I think that we start, instead of, just working the fundamentals to death to where it's just boring and repetitive, we get you safe. We talk about the fundamentals, but we immediately start focusing on fighting with a gun as opposed to, just shooting a paper target. And I think that really does change the people's approach, mindset, and quite honestly, how fast they improve. And I think we see most people are shocked, I believe, at the level of improvement from someone that has never shot a gun before to by the time the end of their class, they're especially coming to a level 2. By level 2, they're running a gun and pretty effectively. And
I'll just interrupt right there. I mean, even as more of a gun newbie, I mean, obviously you have a lot of experience, and I see it from a totally different perspective. Obviously, I'm not a newbie, but the way you just put it is we start fighting with a gun, teaching you how to fight a gun immediately. But you don't do it in a way to where it feels that overwhelming. That sounds overwhelming for a newbie, but having been to the class as a student, it's not taught in a way that feels overwhelming or.
I don't even think it's. I think it's
realize what's going on.
I think it's completely transparent that we're doing that. I don't think it's till afterwards that you realize it really is kind of that wax on, wax off. I don't really know what I'm doing here, but then we start putting it into context of what you're doing, and it's really not that hard. But what it is taking the focus off of just squeezing the trigger and line up the sights, and making you do other things and process other things with a gun in your hand while using that gun, and that is really what makes people stop being freaked out about the gun and really focusing on your environment as much as that gun in your hand. So I think again, it's just a completely different approach than I've ever seen taken for the most part. There's definitely a lot of stuff that I've taken from special operations, some of the training that I've had, and put it into the curriculum along with the other guys that we have as instructors.
Yeah. Kyle says Aubrey would love come to take a class anytime, Kyle. I mean, we almost pretty much every level 1 and level 2 classes, we have husband and wives out, and they're just having a blast out there together.
Yeah. And here's the big announcement, folks. Part of this, and again, I want to take some of the feedback that we get from you all today, and we're going to implement that in many different ways. But the big announcement on this is that what we're going to do for the first half of 2022 through June 1st, all courses, level 1 courses, all
handgun level 1. Tactical carbine level 1.
Handgun level 1 and carbine level 1, you get half off if you're a female. All right. So it's kind of ladies' night for the first 6 months of 2022. So if you're a female, we're giving you 50% off to come to that. And you can come with your husband. You can leave him at home. He can watch the kids, whatever it is. Or, maybe you don't have a husband, whatever it is. And I'm not talking about some of you that are going to suddenly identify as females. So again, we really want to try to make this accessible. We want people to come out, because here's the thing too. I know a lot of women are very, trepidatious and nervous about coming out. And I can tell you, within 10 minutes, we're going to make sure that you're comfortable. You're having a good time. You're going to see that this is not some, boot camp stressful environment. We're there to have fun.
And listen, this is only through June 1st. So please get out there. You're going to love it. You're going to go to level 2, but you got to take advantage of that before June 1st. I agree with Viper here. I mean, even when I come 100%. Out to classes, I'm like, Gary, you stay on the other side of the range. I just stay away from her. I'm going to work with one of our instructors, and we're good to go.
I mean, it's really no different than our normal daily life approach.
Pretty much.
She's just like, stay away
stay on the other side
social
away
distance.
From me. Yeah.
Yeah. So look, folks, men out there, I'm telling you right now, and I don't know, maybe there's some women out there. This might be even worse on that side of it, but men, you cannot teach your significant other how to shoot. It's just not going to happen. It is very rare that the relationship dynamic is such that is effective. So, take that for what it's worth.
We learned that in the weight room when we were first starting to weight train. So I didn't attempt it out on the range. It was pretty funny.
I would take her out on runs and yell at her the whole time. I'm like, what the wrong with you? You're not allowed to fall out. Yeah. So anyways, it's just not effective. As a matter of fact, most of the time, not always, but most of the time, it's a good way to get your significant other to never come to the range again. They're going to be stressed out. They're trying to impress you.
Yeah, whether they want to admit it or not, they want to impress you.
And they're overwhelmed with so much. And guess what? Chances are you're not that good at teaching. Let's just be real. All right. You're just not broken down. That's not what you do. And it's a lot more than just taking someone to the range, showing them a gun, putting it in their hands and telling them to shoot the target. It's a lot more than that. Not at all. At the level of confidence you walk away with is incredible, especially as a woman.
That's, I mean, if anybody's got some good testimonials about Paramount tactical classes, coming with your husband, getting into shooting as a woman, Rox does.
Yeah. And again, I think women that do come to our courses are so shocked at how competitive they are with the women, with the men. Mm-hmm. Look, I think generally speaking, when it's not involving your significant other, women are much more easier to train. I think generally they have the way that they're built, and just mentally and physically, I think they're actually better shooters. There's a lot going on there. I think that women, when it comes to firearms, actually have a major advantage over men. What other questions we got? Comments, gripes, complaints?
Josh said, nice discount. So no excuses, Josh. Tell your wife, come on out.
And for the men, if you're coming back to a level 1, you still get the alumni discount as well. So you can come with, so for the basically buy one, get one free for a man and a woman that have come to a course. Again, you're basically paying half off for 2 people. So
yeah, Rox, you got to get your mom out there. I mean, I don't know if she's going to be as cool as you. No, I'm just kidding. Definitely easier to take instruction from a stranger.
Just don't take candy from a stranger. Remember that.
Mike says, I've been to a few of Gary's classes, never seen a more patient training cadre than the Paramount team, with men and women always extremely helpful with gear and instruction. I agree, Mike.
Well, thank you, Mike. Mike actually started paying me extra to yell at him. No. What really turns my wife off at the range, she's an Army girl from the 1980s. It was hard to be in there.
Yeah, I don't really care about the bullet. If it shoots out the gun, great.
Look, I think most people that are into guns spout off all this nerd stuff. And again, we can talk about I can talk about all ballistics, internal, external, terminal ballistics all day long. Number one, it's not very right. It's not very practical. It doesn't do anything for you. And a lot of times that information is there to impress people without actually having to perform. All right. Okay. You memorize a bunch of garbage. So, that's not something we do. We cover the basics. We cover what you need to know as far as in the classroom, what you need to know to be safe. And then we move on, because again, it's making sure that you can confidently pull that gun, put rounds on a target effectively.
Tyler has a great question that we hear a lot.
Yeah. So this is a great question, Tyler. So,
do you have a pistol recommendation for my wife that has trouble manipulating most of my pistols?
So without a doubt, if she's having trouble, number one, a lot of this is technique. 90% of the time that I see that women are having issues manipulating pistol, it is a technique. This is something that even Summer and I went through. Yep. She was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this.
It's very frustrating at first.
And again, it's about technique, and it's bringing it in close to your body. And if I do a half-assed demonstration, it'll be half-assed used, and then they'll get tired. And also, you got to get a few reps with this. So, number one, technique. I almost guarantee that on a full-size gun, whether it's a Glock or an M&P type of a weapon, we could get her effectively locking the slide back to the rear, because that's what we're talking about, right? Primarily.
Yeah.
So there's that. If for some reason she's extremely petite, then we might move her to a Smith & Wesson EZ in 380, and now they have the ones in 9mm. I don't like going to smaller pistols for women. Smaller pistols are much more difficult to shoot. They're always going to shoot a full-size pistol better. So I would say come to a course, Tyler, or again, maybe that is a video that I'll do on technique where I can spend some time explaining that. And it can't be one of those things where they try it once and then give up. But again, 99% of the time, I can get a woman that says she can't manipulate or lock a slide back to the rear, locking the slide back to the rear, just applying the techniques that I
we've
talked
had
about.
several women, many women over the years that, prior to a course, they signed up and they're like, this is my issue. And they're always successful by the end of the class.
By the end of the course, by the end of the first day, they're racking that slide back, no problem. And it's technique and good repetitions.
Mike's got a challenge for you.
I'll push you harder. Mike. Definitely will. As far as the pistol goes, though, providing that she can rack the slide back to the rear, I still would go with a full size, something like a Glock 19 or an MP 2.0. Those are the two pistols that I pretty much will recommend to anybody. Again, if she's extremely petite and just doesn't have the physical strength to lock those to the rear, which again I think is a really small population of women, we'd move her to like a Smith & Wesson Easy. And
Tyler, just FYI, we do have some training guns available that she can come.
Yes,
and try all of those.
So that's the other thing that we always try to make sure that we have. That's an obstacle that we try to remove right off the bat. We have multiple training guns. We have holsters. We have all the gear, safety glasses, ear pro, all of that stuff.
Sell you ammo right on the range
that we're going to let you use for free.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to use all of that for free. The only thing that you're going to pay for is the ammo. So you can come. We have a variety. I have a whole box over there full of guns. And we're going to let you use several different guns and you can try them out. And then again, you're not investing any money in gear. You're coming there, you're using our gear for free, and then you can figure out what you like the best.
Yeah. This is kind of important from Dan. Just letting everybody know that we do have people that come to level 1 that have never touched a gun before. So just kind of set some people at ease where they feel like they don't have to have any prior training before coming to a level 1.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. Like look, if you're coming to our courses, I don't care if you're, a master class shooter or you've never touched a gun before, coming to a level 1 for lots of different reasons. But yes, I want to make sure that people know that, Dan is exactly right. If you don't even know how to spell gun, you never touched one, you never looked at one. All right. You're going to come, we're going to take care of you. All right. And if we have to, and there has been, so we've had maybe some 12-year-olds, or maybe just people that are just really overwhelmed with the experience. That's why we have the amount of instructors that we have there. So if we need to bring someone, very off to the side, very subtly, diplomatically, whatever, right? We're going to get them over there and we're going to give them the one-on-one attention that they need to make sure that, we have training objectives laid out. And those training objectives are going to be met. I don't care if we got to sit out there and train all day. Guys, my daughter-in-law is an Italian 5'2" U.S. Navy MA, and I trust her to have my 6 any second of the day. Women aren't to be underestimated by no means. Absolutely not. And that's one of the things that I really want. That's why I'm so. That's why I want to keep trying at this, right? And I'm very passionate about this. I think that I want women to see what they can actually do on the range, and I want them to see this is not a boys' club. This is something that everyone should be doing, and I want every woman carrying a gun being able to independently take care of herself and not need somebody else there necessarily. So there's nothing wrong with having that, right? I want to be armed. I want my wife to be armed. I want us both to be armed, for our kids. And, I like to bring my wife everywhere armed because she works, she's good cover. So my wife is a professional dancer and instructor. She runs across the problem of the more experienced student trying to help.
I don't feel like we have, the classes I've been in.
We do.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
So we do have that problem where, and again, this is also, and I will say that because of the amount of instructors that we normally have on the range, I don't see this as much. I do see this when suddenly if an instructor falls out of a class and can't make it, and we have our instructor ratio is a little lower than, and I see this pop up more without a doubt, where you have people on the line trying to coach the guy next to them or the girl next to them. So you have those folks trying to show them how to do things. It's a problem. And it's usually something that I nip in the bud. The other problem where this comes into place is also husbands and wives, right? So again, Now the husband brought his wife to a course only so that she could stand next to him and he could give her all these shooting tips while this is going on. It creates the same environment. And I've actually separated couples in the past where again, I do it in a way that I'm not going to embarrass anybody. I'm like, hey, why don't we switch the lineup over here? Hey, why don't you come over here and you come over here? And
the wife's probably like,
yeah, and they are because now that whole environment where they're creating, where they're embarrassed, now it's happening. And the husband thinks it's very subtle. He thinks it's, or the
probably
boyfriend
with the best intentions,
with 100% of the best intentions. But now he's creating an environment. Now he's in front of everybody else. And she, and it could go both ways.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely, they're very aware of it. Right. And they feel like the spotlight is on them. So that is definitely something that we tend to address right off the bat. My wife's biggest challenge was growing up in a anti-handgun household. I convinced her to get CCW and she has not touched a pencil since. Theodore, that is very common. Again, we can convince people of the idea and we can win them to our side, but if they don't have the confidence, and especially if they've grown up in a household like that, where there's almost an irrational fear against a firearm, that's very common. So again, what that takes is repetition on the range. And what that takes is honestly professionals like us. We've seen this before. We've trained thousands of people. And again, I know there's a lot of folks on here that don't know our background, but not only are we, most of our instructors from special operations, but all of them have spent many years either, and most of both. I was a military instructor and a federal firearms instructor and a federal special tactics instructor. And that's where my pool of guys come from. So they have trained thousands of people. This was their full-time job, and they happen to come work for us and work with us on the weekend.
And in that federal position, teaching civilians.
They're teaching
kind of important to clarify.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's teaching civilians that don't want to be there.
Yeah.
By the way. So there's, federal agents are some of the hardest to teach without a doubt. So again, we've trained thousands of people. There's not something that we're going to come across that we haven't seen before. And that's, you got to have that operational experience and know what you're doing, but having that instructional experience, I think, is just as important for an effective overall experience.
Yep.
And conveying that information.
Well, John made it.
John, good to see you, buddy. Glad you made
it. Yep. Get a little stress out on the range.
Absolutely. Until the price of ammo was like it was last year, and then it's very stressful.
It's still up, but it's
coming down
a little bit. Yeah.
It's coming. It wasn't like the ridiculous prices last year.
Yeah, no, it's definitely come down a little.
Dan just posted up our upcoming training schedule. Throw that up there so go check those out, folks. Again, I'd say only about 50%. Of our courses are up on the training schedule. I'm still working out some issues with long range. This thing has been kicking my butt. A meeting that I have to have to determine the rest of the training schedule for long range. It was supposed to happen 2 weeks ago with a gentleman. He got COVID. We were supposed to meet the following week. He said he wasn't good, so we were supposed to meet this week, and he wasn't good still
kicking his butt.
So hopefully next week. But with that, what goes with that again is some of the low light courses and some of those other things. So I'm not trying to put too much on the board because I don't know what is going to be available to us with the two different ranges that I plan on working with as far as long range goes. So I don't want to throw a bunch of stuff up there only to change it.
Just real quick, someone mentioned after they saw the schedule that is up, they're like, well, why are all the advanced courses later on in the year? Well, that's to give everyone a chance to meet those prereqs, because the advanced courses do have prereqs. And, we want to give everybody a chance that is interested in those classes, the chance to do all the other ones that they need.
Yeah. And also most of the level 3 courses and stuff like that are also a 2-day courses. So that requires a little bit more planning on your part. You might have to get a hotel. Some of those courses that we're going to do are going to end up out at Panthera, which is in Moorfield, West Virginia. That's where the shoot house and things like that are. So it all requires a little bit more planning. So again, we're just trying to give you guys the most amount of time and just logistical planning when it comes down to it.
Yep, for sure.
All right. So we talked about I think we identified some of the issues and things like that when it comes to getting more women involved. As far as the women out there, what are some other things that you feel like that would make it easier for you, that would convince you to come to a course? What was Dan saying?
He was just saying it's just a lot of fun too, and you don't even realize you're learning.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think there's a sense of camaraderie too. I mean, I really enjoyed that, both enrolled in the courses and even coming out to the courses. There's people get on the range and they're very encouraging of one another.
Absolutely.
Makes it a lot more fun. You get to meet some people, meet some like-minded people.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of relationships that end up being made out on the range, between friends that just keep showing up at the same courses, or people that become friends because they're showing up at the same courses, or even again our clients and us. I've always have envisioned Paramount being a very kind of family oriented community, right? And that's not cliche. I mean, that's really what I'd like to see. And doing things like this is really part of that. It's a lot of fun.
And that's part of the reason we have the alumni page too, that we let you guys just kind of hang out, talk, chat with people you've met at classes, a way to connect with those people that you've met. Yeah,
and the alumni page is definitely something that I need to and should be putting more effort into, but I have been tied up doing other things, again, developing this, doing videos, all the other stuff that I do. But again, that is definitely intended to be alumni ran, right? And where you guys are in there talking about different things and coming up with ideas and presenting them to us, or even coming up with community events.
Sorry, Tyler, I don't do daycare because I'm usually helping and working that day too. But yep, that is a issue a lot of times. Even a lot of times for us when I want to come actually participate in a class and I got the kiddos. So yeah.
That's actually a good idea though, Tyler, is that's probably something that we should look into and possibly come with a solution. If we could find someone local or even a local daycare that would, wrangle.
I don't know.
We have kennels too. I know there's some local kennels. We could actually
daycare is a whole issue.
We can bring kennels out to the
can
range.
Of worms right there. You're opening.
No, but I do think I'm not saying us open up a daycare. I'm saying,
I know, but saying maybe have some people to refer them to locally.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, hey, we some places that maybe we could do a little bit of vetting on and talk to some friends or somebody that has any, like, hey, does this local daycare have a good reputation?
Right.
Or do they all have bed bugs? I don't know.
Yeah, family protection is definitely a main concern when it comes to women carrying. I think that's probably the number one reason for a woman or moms to carry. This is true.
100%. Everybody wants everybody to excel and succeed out there.
And that's another thing. Those people that keep showing up at the same courses and become friends, man, they get so competitive over that Top Gun Cup. And
they want that Top Gun Cup.
They can't. They're like, oh man, I wish so and so would have showed up so I could beat him. And it's pretty funny.
Yes, there's been several times where someone has won a Top Gun Cup, and you could tell they didn't really want it because the person that they wanted to beat
was not there.
So they didn't feel
didn't have the same satisfaction.
Didn't have the same. Yeah.
Yeah. Need to just take a picture and send it, I guess. Bouncy house next to the well, that would keep them occupied all day.
Yeah,
until it gets sprinklers on it. Give them some water guns.
Until a 40-mile-an-hour gust of wind takes them off, and it does like in Australia where they're freaking turned into a kite.
Yeah, Tyler said he's not opposed to the kennels.
Yeah, I mean we keep some water running.
This is actually a great comment. We actually do have and have done some gun safety classes for younger kids, and we have youth starting at age 12. I mean, obviously depending on the individual child.
Yeah, I actually developed a curriculum. We did a really successful. Was it last year or the year before? It was before COVID, right? Yeah, so it was the year before.
No, 2019. It was after COVID.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, a really cool gun safety class that we did at a jiu-jitsu studio. I actually had some churches lined up, and they ended up to do the same thing. And again, that's something I'm doing for free. They called us and wanted us to do it, and then ended up getting canceled because additional COVID restrictions came down where a big influx of COVID hit. It's one of those weird things, but that's something I haven't been pushing, and it probably I should. The other thing I've been wanting to do with that is also turn that into like an online course. So I think something along those lines. But the point is that we do have airsoft guns that are training guns that are the same weight, that operate the same way, that do a mag change, they shoot 30 rounds, they got safety. So again, that's definitely something that we do have in place, and we do need to implement. We just tend to, it's like, oh, COVID came down, we started going off in this direction on something else, and it's just one of those things that we need to, follow up on.
Yeah. Got a lot of irons in the fire.
Yeah. We got more irons than fire.
Yeah.
What else? What else questions? Oh, so do we have any other feedback on some things that we could do that, especially hearing from women, that we could do? I'm really liking this daycare idea. That's maybe something that we need to look into. Just as far as I think that's a big obstacle. We're not running a daycare here. I'm just saying that we could come up with a daycare solution locally. That's what I'm saying, or nearby the range. I think that is a real big obstacle.
Yeah, they could just do an early drop off on their way to the range and pick up on their way home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be an issue. There's definitely, I don't know. I think there's plenty of daycares around here. So daycares, any other suggestions when it comes to women's training? Getting more women involved. Theodore has something down there. What are you doing?
Sorry. So he says this new gas can is great.
So
even I was pretty impressed when we went to the gas station to fill it up. You just pop the nozzle in. You don't have to sit there and hold it.
So I just finished a video on those. I thought, the more I thought about it, I thought, that those were something that would be worth doing a video on. So I'm over there. It's actually done, and I'm just I'm going to upload it right after this, and then throw a thumbnail up there and post that on our page.
Yeah, new video.
We had it. I think it's cool. It was definitely something that I had researched for a really long time, and trying to find, especially those two specific brands, Eagle versus the Just Right. And anyways, so I did that video. So good, Theodore. Those gas cans are freaking amazing.
We should have gotten a referral off 3 gas cans just during last Friday's
live.
Got to figure out how to.
God, you're selling. You just want to make money on everything.
No, I'm just saying you're just selling everything for everybody. You're just such a good salesman.
Tyler Hopkins, 9mm or 380.
9mm.
9mm all day long.
Yep.
All day long. Now
I know the answer to that.
So now they even make the EZ guns, and I think they have a full size EZ now. I know they have the Shield EZ, but
in 9mm, yeah.
In 9mm. I think the one that we have is 380.
It is, because that was the first one they came out with, and they didn't come out with 9mm till much later.
Yeah. So, but 9mm. When it comes to recoil, there's not really any difference, but there's a huge difference when it comes to the lethality of those things. There was a lady in Atlanta. The guy was breaking into her house. She shot that dude 5 times, like 5. She'd basically, her and her kids had pushed their way into a crawl space, and he tried to bust in there, and she filled his face with 380, shot him 5 times in the face with 380, and he lived to tell about it. So, and was still advancing, by the way. So it took 5 shots before he got the idea that was a bad idea. So 9mm.
Yep.
What other topics, folks? So the big news, like I said today, is between now and June 1st, 50% off for women coming to a level 1. Guys, you'll just have to email me. You can email me at summer@ParamountTactical.com to help you get that discount taken care of. Yep. Or you can call in too. MP Bodyguard 380s. Plus P are the same ballistics. Same ballistics as 9mm. Is that what you're saying? I know it's going to be pretty close. Irregardless. It's not a word. Not a word. What else we got? What's else on the agenda? Any current events you guys want to talk about from this week? I think can't think of really any huge news this week. Well, we had an amazing press conference. I don't know if you guys watched that. That was embarrassing, folks. Again, I don't know how many Biden voters are out there, but again, regardless, man, that was an embarrassing press conference. I'm just going to leave it at that.
I'm sure that's opening a can of worms right now.
Well, we all know it is.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to take Grandpa Joe and give him his ice cream and take him to the home.
I can't believe we only just hit the 1 year mark.
We got 3 years left of that, folks. We got 3 years.
It feels like it's been 4
W
years.
Track said something on there. Yeah, we got 3 more years of this. I don't know. I don't know that he'll make it that long, but and I don't wish him any ill will or harm or anything like that. But I just think cognitively we need to get somebody else out there. He gave Russia permission to invade Ukraine. Just a tip, just a little incursion, just come in a little bit. Yeah, velocity again. So we get the same amount of weight. So the grains are much lower. I forgot what 380 is. It was pretty low. So even if we get the velocity up close to that 9 millimeter, which isn't 125 grains or whatever it is, obviously mass and speed is equal energy, and we're just not quite there. But plus P is better. But I guarantee you, I would bet almost anything that if we were able to measure recoil, I bet the recoil on the small 380 would be more or about the same. I would bet more that plus P is more than a standard 9mm in a similar gun. Everybody voted for. He had a lot of votes.
Yeah, he's never been in charge, but whatever.
I'm sure.
Hey, Matt, how are you? I don't know if we've seen you on here before, but good to see you.
No, we have.
Oh, okay.
I remember his screen name. No, tonight is here.
Oh, that should be yours.
You should.
All right. Tyler says, would you say doing a 9mm carbine or stick with a 5.56 for a carbine for my wife?
There's nothing wrong with 9mm carbine. Nothing wrong with it all. Is it as lethal as 5.56? No, but
fun to shoot though.
They're a lot of fun to shoot. They're very compact. The recoil is even less than 5.56. I mean, it just depends on what your reasoning behind that is. Tyler, I don't think the recoil is that big of a difference. I don't think that there's nothing wrong with that. So let's be real. You're buying this for you. So whichever one you would prefer.
He's hitting the send button right now on that purchase. Gary said so.
So whichever one, I mean, both are great, and both you can attend our carbine course with, and she can learn to use it to, the maximum of her ability, and we can definitely tighten that up. 5.56. I mean, 9mm again. It's fun to shoot. I don't know what the cost is compared to 5.56 right now.
What, 9mm versus 5.56? Yeah. 9mm is way cheaper than 5.56.
There you go. So that might be a consideration.
Yeah.
Basically that 9mm sub gun is a great truck gun all day long, especially you throw a brace on it. Make sure you don't shoulder it. My God, if you shoulder it. Yeah. So anyways, you can go either way with that. Yeah. What else we got?
Rock says, can't speak to 9mm carbine, but the 5.56 is great. I have no problems as a woman shooting it. Nope. And those targets laid right down when they saw you running down the range that day. You remember that? All the targets were like, man. She's like, dang it. I got to start over and run some more.
Yeah. I think a lot of times, and this goes back to with women, I think we start trying to come up with solutions to problems we haven't even experienced yet. Right. So a lot of times we start as guys, we start projecting all these problems or forecasting the problems that aren't going to happen and or are happening not because of, if there's any issues shooting 9mm or 5.56, they're going to have the same issue. So a 5.56 carbine isn't harder to shoot than a 9mm. It's a matter of teaching them to shoot it correctly with both. I mean, 5.56 is such little recoil as it is. I mean, my 7-year-old, I take him out there and show him some things. He's not going to get better because he's shooting a 9mm. It's just a matter of showing the correct technique, showing correct stance, by position, side alignment, set, picture, breath control, trigger squeeze, follow through. I mean, it comes down to the fundamentals and applying the fundamentals. There's going to be no difference. Now, is there a difference between 308 and 5.56? Absolutely. There's a huge difference in recoil because we're talking about, similar velocities with a lot more energy and a lot more, opposite and equal reaction.
I mean, even shooting your suppressed AR off. I mean, just like pew.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even feel it.
Now,
And that's 223.
I will say,
but-
especially, if you're looking to get your wife something, maybe a suppressed 5.56 or suppressed 9mm. Now we start getting to some other issues, and that as we throw a suppressor on the end of a rifle, definitely is going to make the end of that barrel a lot heavier. So we start throwing some definitely gets a little wonky when it comes to balance.
Ed says, how many ways can you make an AR? I'm not very excited from SHOT Show.
Yeah, I've been watching the last show. You can make them a lot of different ways, only so many ways, and then you start painting them, and then painting different pieces on it, and then putting different other pieces of plastic on it, and
Daryl, I can check on that for you. Write that down.
Can you guys get any of the Magpul backpacker stocks from Ruger? Yeah, we'll check that out, Daryl. You write that down. Oh, while we're on it, this is something else. Again, we talked about it in the past. I want to see, just kind of get a sense of who would be interested. It doesn't have to be that many, actually, but I do want to start doing some kind of, I don't know, we want to call them family camps, man camps, whatever you want to call them, but do some camping where we talk about some basic survival stuff. Some of the stuff that we used to do, we used to run in survival courses for the NRA, and I actually really enjoyed teaching them. That's something that wouldn't cost a lot of money for you guys. Basically, what I want to do is just cover the supplies and stuff that we needed. But would everybody be interested in some of the things we would talk about and we would have kids do as well as parents? But some of the things I want to make sure that kids know is, basic water procurement, learning to start a fire, food procurement and processing, and other things like some basic first aid, as well as things like changing a tire. Just some basic life skill camps. I don't know, somebody come up with a fancy name for all that stuff. Yeah. But, just life skills that I think that everybody should know. And if people would be interested in something like that, where we could, there's definitely some parks around here, some state parks and things like that. We could do that. And it wouldn't be much to throw that together. It wouldn't be very hard at all.
Yeah. See, Tyler said, yes, it would be for me anyways.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
See, I was thinking about a scorpion. I almost said he's hitting send on the scorpion right now, but
see, the scorpion is
coming back around.
Is really nice, and the SIG, the counterpart of the SIG, that's really nice too. It's just about 2.5 times as expensive as the CZ. That scorpion is a lot of money. Is a lot of gun for the money. It's such a good value, and it's such a cool little gun.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. See, Willie said, I'm in before you even said what it was. All you had to do was say the word man camp.
Man camp.
Man camp.
I don't. What are you trying to say about Willie?
No, I'm just saying, like,
summer's camp.
Cool. There you go, Daryl.
No, Daryl.
Pretty much, Daryl. Yeah.
You guys can't.
These people know what's up, Gary.
They don't. They don't. They're deceived.
They know where their bread is buttered. Rock said, we're in. All right. I'll at least let you have the voice for it.
I'm going to put that on I'm going to look at some places that we can do that and get something probably around the April-May timeframe. I think that'd be good. Maybe even June.
Yeah, I was about to say probably May, June.
Somewhere where the weather isn't. It's nice to sleep when it's still a little cold out, when you're sleeping outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Matt said, would still love to see a long range carbine course. Comes with an LVPO.
Matt,
LPVO.
Low power variable optic.
Yeah. Sorry, I said that backwards. Go ahead. You lost your train of thought now.
I was going to be mean, but decided not to.
How's that different from any other day?
Anyways, Matt, there will be a mid to long range course, LPVO course, and not just LPVO. We want I don't care if you can show up with iron sights, but just be able to shoot, past like 200 yards or so with an AR. So if you want to bring an LPVO, you will definitely excel at that course. If you bring iron sights, you'll have fun, but you're not going to excel.
No Top Gun.
You probably won't get Top Gun on that. You'll definitely be at a disadvantage. Maybe you're so good that it won't matter, but we will be doing those things.
Ed said he's in. Uncle Gary's man camp.
John, you made it weird. You know what? Cancel it. We're canceling the camp. John made it too weird. John turned it into a movie
love
title.
That outdoors camp. Yeah, we had really good feedback from the survival class.
Yeah, we did.
The NRA survival class. We did. Yep.
Yep.
Oh, Rox likes it. Uncle Gary's man camp. Well, we can't be. It sounds like it's excluding people. It's not just for men. But family camp doesn't have the same ring to it.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to start with that name. We'll start attracting clientele that won't necessarily. Anyways, we'll leave it there.
Tyler says, as long as Summer is cooking for man camp, I am in.
We are. You're going to be getting some mountain house. I don't know. Maybe Summer will do some biscuits.
I'll tell you what. There was one long range course we did at a remote location out on Spear Mountain.
Yep.
And I did all the cooking for everyone because it was, I don't know, an hour to the nearest town.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a lot of work, but it was fun for everybody else. Food was good, though.
It was. And let's be real. Summer enjoyed everybody loving her cooking.
I mean, I show my love through cooking.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, now
can't you look at all of us and tell?
You speak for yourself, woman. Freaking getting cold because I'm so lean right now.
No. Jet boil and Mountain House for the win. Yep.
Now we'll do some other stuff too. We will definitely do some sort of prepared meal out there. There might be some rabbits involved. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh God. Before we get to the next comment, I already saw what John said, but by the way, Dan's been testing out all the Mountain House flavors. I'm pretty sure he has a spreadsheet on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. We need to do a video on that.
John is going to get banned. Uncle Gary's happy camp.
Jesus Christ. That's actually worse.
Oh. Top Gun mug. Come out and win one so you can bring it.
Well, the good thing is that mug is insulated. So whether you're trying to keep hot coffee hot or cold, whatever, cold, it's going to work. We can improve ergonomics, therefore make it better for the ladies. My sister always said that the gun is too heavy for her. Yeah, so
maybe you're talking about a rifle.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he's talking about an AR. I'm assuming. And again, even with that, there's a lot of things that I show people, again, using the right sling to where the sling is supporting the gun makes a big difference. But there are definitely some things you can do to lighten that gun, especially even ultimately, the real answer is building a lighter gun. You can get a pencil barrel, lighter forend. There's definitely some skeletonized and lightened receivers that you can get. So there's definitely ways to get the weight down. And another answer to that, because that's where a lot of the weight is always going to be felt in the barrel, right? So if we can get that barrel length down, whether you are getting an NFA item and or just turn it into a pistol, is honestly that latter suggestion is what I suggest for women. So if we can get a 10-inch rifle, it's going to feel so much. It might only be a less than a pound lighter, but it's going to feel twice as light because all of that leverage that the barrel has on you. What else we got?
Theodore has a great question. The answer is yes. You get enough people, we'll travel.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. And actually, that's something that I've been wanting to do more of. I'm looking at Richmond area. I'd like to get down to Richmond and do some stuff. We actually have instructors down there that are living down there. Richmond, I wouldn't be opposed to even start traveling more, going down south through, South Carolina, North Carolina, places like that, doing some courses and other places. So the answer is yes. We'd love to do some traveling. We'd love to expand our area geographically. So, that's definitely what I'd be up for. What else?
Yep. Dan says his sisters mentioned how her pistol trigger pull is not comfortable for her. She's installed a competition trigger for a lighter pull and she loves it. I mean, these are all different things you can change and customize to make it how you like it.
Yeah. So, and a trigger will definitely help. Another thing that will definitely help is some sort of sight, whether we're talking about a red dot sight for a pistol, or switching over to the Dawson precision sights. Again, I got a video on that. You can go check that out. I'm telling you, folks, having that bright front dot and having blacked out rear sights makes a huge difference. It is under the same principle of using just that red dot sight, right? So it makes a huge difference as far as being able to track that front sight or just drawing your eye to that front sight. When you're using a 3-dot system, your eye is constantly fighting between those rear dots, the front dot. You don't even realize it's happening. I'm telling you that. You don't even realize it's happening. You're trying to go back and forth between the target and these two other planes, which is the front and the rear sight. Whereas if you black out that rear sight, those DOS precision sights have that fiber optic glow front sight. It makes all the difference in the world. Or you can switch to a red dot sight. And then, of course, trigger definitely helps too. So we have Apex triggers. Nothing wrong with that.
No, this is what I meant to go. So John's bringing up an important point here. His wife says there's nothing you can do to improve the experience of training with you all, which we appreciate, John. But I think that goes back to.
Well, he means that in a positive, right?
No, yeah, I'm saying.
She's like, I ain't never coming back. Hey, nothing they can do to make me feel better about that.
That's not how she meant it.
I know.
But what I'm getting at is that whether it comes to pistol or rifle, there's a lot of techniques that you guys as professional instructors can help women with. Whereas, I mean, of course, these are all suggestions, but like Gary said, you're trying to solve a problem that hasn't even presented itself yet.
Or you're just going about it the wrong way.
Or she thinks something, and until she gets out on the range and actually puts it into practice, it may change her whole experience.
And again, that's one of the things that we see with couples. The problem, the husband, he's not even diagnosing the problem correctly. He doesn't even know what's really going on. She's missing the target. So
she's saying one thing, thinking it's an issue, and it's actually something else.
100%. So there's a lot of stuff going on there where I'm telling you folks, as again, I'm not trying to toot our own horn, but it's what we do for a living.
Yeah,
it just streamlines things. We see what's going on. I can tell if it's a trigger problem right away. I can tell if it's usually a front sight issue, or it could be a grip issue. But the point is that we're pretty good at diagnosing those immediately. Whereas you're going to try 10 different things, and the whole thing's going to be frustrating for everybody, and it's just going to turn the whole thing into a goat wrestling match. A little loophole form one.
I've never seen a goat wrestling match.
Well, I've seen other things. I didn't want to say it. I was trying to temper my language. Intent to manufacture a firearm. You file to make an SBR by building it for. Takes about 30 days to get approved. Never. Yeah, and as a class 3, that's something I've never even done. That's all of that stuff is Summer's kind of world. She knows usually more about the legal side of that and all the forms and all that stuff, because she deals with that on a regular basis. I'm like, hey, order me a suppressor, get on it. Or hey, I ordered a suppressor, get paperwork done on it,
put it on the
books. Of course it's a lot easier that we're class 3, whether it's a SBR or a suppressor. Guys, installed the XS 24/7 sights on the carry pistols and are amazing. Don't rely on that battery and dot. Yeah, with that being said, I've used the XS sights, and in person, those things, that it comes down to a personal, it's just a personal preference, right? Those are great sights. I don't like that big dot out there, and again, that's a personal preference. And I think if it's something that people are exposed to, it's just like a lot of things. You're going to like them or love them. When it goes back to the battery thing, though,
or hate them,
I will say that there's a reason special operations and I think within the next couple of years, the military in general will go to red dot sights on all of their pistols. There's a huge tactical advantage, and now we've gotten to a point to where they're pretty damn reliable. Between the battery life on them lasting literally years at a time, and just being a much tougher unit overall, and very. I remember deploying with the initial push into Iraq. They'd actually put we'd gotten these. At the time, it was brand new optics. The first time that ACOGs were issued, so we had the ACOG. I think it was a 4-power fixed. The original ACOG, and they put these Seymour red dot sights on the top of them for close encounters. And folks, you just literally this much pressure, you hit the top of that Seymour sight, it shattered the glass. I guarantee you there was not one infantry rifleman that deployed with one of those that came back with that thing intact. So, again, that's going back almost 20 years, and we've come a long way. But they're very reliable, and I understand the mindset there. But I think that we've gotten to a point to where, again, red dot sights you can rely on, but find some. Even with those, they do go down, so you got to make sure you have backup sights. What I do see a lot of times is people at the range that have a dedicated red dot sight, and they have either iron sights on their gun that they can't use because they're not the right height, or they have no iron sights at all on them. I've seen that where there's no rear sight. That's not a good. You want to have that primary and alternate going on with those. What else?
And Dawson makes them for.
Dawson does make, folks. I'm a big fan of Dawson Precision Sights. Again, I think I did a video on that, right? Dawson sights? I think so. Anyways, I'm a big fan of those Dawson Precision sights. There's a lot of other good sights out there too. I've just been a big fan of those, and they do make suppressor height sights and the correct sight height that you're going to need for any sort of red dot sight as well. What else?
All right. Love my dots and optics, don't get me wrong.
100%. We definitely agree on that. Definitely agree. Yep.
Well, ladies, get in the class.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is it's a big initiative. We really want to have you guys out. You're going to have a blast. We're excited to announce this tonight.
Yeah. Oh, I do want to say again, that was probably a little bit of a, I still want to get to 10,000 before the end of the month. We're probably not going to hit 10,000 on our subscriptions with, YouTube. But I'd like to continue to try to push that. I think next month I'll do another big push to get that up and probably do a giveaway or something like that. But if you guys could really help us, again, going on YouTube, sharing our videos, again, that is the key to our success. I really do believe that. And again, that has been the greatest catalyst of growth for our business out of anything has been YouTube. So, and a lot of you that are on this feed right now, or several of you on the feed, found us through YouTube. So if you will continue to share that, our other social media platforms as well, that we want to continue to grow and continue to kind of hit all these people in a multifaceted approach to continue to grow this business. We appreciate it. And I know it sucks to, I don't like sharing a lot of stuff either, but get outside your comfort zone, hit share. Say, hey, this is a great company.
Yeah, but
go do that.
If you're sharing a cool video about a cool piece of gear,
Absolutely.
Hey, you're helping someone else.
That guy is very handsome, very insightful, very attractive.
Here we go. Here we go, folks.
Hilarious, dude. Yeah. He is hilarious.
There's a couple of videos I've jumped in on. Yeah. Finally.
YouTube banned those. They banned them. Inappropriate content.
Folks, I don't know if Gary will ever show up at another class because he's going to be dead. Okay.
DED. we got comments going on. Okay. Work that mouse, woman.
That we've already read this.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
See, ladies, get in the class. Heading right over after this broadcast. Yep, your wife is going to love and appreciate it for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a day date.
A day date, absolutely. And again,
or if she wants to come by herself and just have a day out by herself.
Nothing wrong with that either.
Valuable too.
They will have a blast. They will have a really good time. We'll make sure that they have a good time. And again, I don't think that. I'd like to think that the experience that we offer is not your typical. Definitely not what they expect, right? So they're going to have a lot of fun. It's not going to be stressful. They're going to walk away with their confidence boosted, having had a lot of fun, and that's what we're there to do.
Yep.
And confidence boosted in a real manner. We're not there just to pump everybody up, say, "Oh, you're doing a great job." If you're not doing a good job, what we're going to do is we're going to work with you until you do a great job, and you can be proud of what you got going on. It doesn't mean that you're going to be a pistolero all in one day, but we'll get you there. There's no doubt about it.
Yep. W Tracks, good night. See you later.
Yep.
Just getting off.
Well, folks, I don't want to keep everybody. It is Friday. I appreciate everybody that did show up tonight. Again, if you start thinking about some of these other ideas that we can increase growth in any area, but definitely with getting more women involved, definitely, push that to us via email or whatever, text, whatever, carrier pigeon. I don't care. Whatever you got, send it to us. Continue to think about us. Our business grows because of you guys, and we really do appreciate all of the input that everyone gives us, the suggestions, advice. We appreciate all this stuff.
Willie just wants to reiterate that even more reviews on the Facebook page and Google help out. I know that we have training clients that have booked with us because of the great reviews on.
We have a 5 or a 4.9 standing on Facebook, and the only reason that we don't have more than that is because we had a bunch of anti-gun folks jump on there and
give us 1 stars.
But we only have 66 reviews. You know, we've literally had thousands of people come through our door. So if you guys could jump on there, throw a review up there or Google, we really appreciate it, because at the end of the night or at the end of the day, it's people that complain or have an issue. So we need a multitude of people that are having those good experiences.
Yeah, we're breaking stuff.
You know, we had 1 negative review on Google and it was just ridiculous. It was nothing that we could even do anything about. Anyways, I'm not going to get into that, but so anyways, folks, we appreciate the support, and any other feedback, let us know. But you guys have a wonderful and safe weekend. And until next Friday, stay armed, stay ready, and we'll talk to you soon.
Good night, guys.